Hi, my name is Carlos Santos and welcome to this sight reading tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be talking about intervals and how they can help you in your sight reading. Let's turn to the exercise. The first exercise we're going to be doing is the top right box, and it says, play this interval of a fifth. Now play it in solid blocked form. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare my left hand finger 1 on D, because usually when we see a bass clef, it's going to be with the left hand. And I'm going to put my finger 5 on G, which is the lower note, the half note. And before I move on, I want to explain what an interval is. So an interval is the distance between two notes by counting the letter names between those two notes. So I'm going to count the letter names between D and G. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between D and G, there are 5 letter names, including the starting note G, D, and the last note G. Okay? So it's 5 notes. D, C, B, A, G. Okay? So this interval is a fifth. Now I'm going to play the exercise. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There's a repeat sign, but we're just going to leave that out for now. Let's do the bottom exercise, which is a short song. It says, circle the repeated notes D in each hand. Notice how the second D in the right hand and the first D in the left hand form the interval of an octave. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use my whiteboard on the top left, and we're going to draw these two notes here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a D in the treble clef here and a D in the bass clef. Okay. And we should also write our clefs just to be correct and proper. So I'm going to mark middle C right here with a star. And I'm going to line up these notes on the staff with the notes on the piano. So let's start off with this one. This D, even though it's in the bass clef, this D is really close to middle C, which is right here. So that means this D is going to be right there. Okay? And this is the next D higher on the piano. So this D I'm going to match up right here. So we're going to count the letter names between these two notes. Okay? Let's name all the keys first. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Let's count how many letter names are between D and D, including the first note and the last note. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the interval is an eighth. And another name for eighth is an octave. So you might notice that the word octave shares its root word, the prefix, which is the beginning of a word, with other words such as octopus and octagon. So the prefix oct means 8, and that's why this interval is called an eighth or an octave. Okay? Now let's play the exercise. I'm going to place my right hand on the higher D over here. I'm also going to place my third finger on the F sharp because we have to look at the key signature. And now I'm going to place my left hand finger 1 on the D right above middle C. I'm going to count 1 measure before I start, and I'm going to play and continue to count while I'm playing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there we go. So to summarize, an interval is the distance between two notes by counting the letter names between those notes. And it's also important to count the first letter and the last letter when you're counting the notes between those. I hope this was helpful, and look out for more videos coming soon.